Yeah, it's fine. I'll do the intro. No, I won't do the intro, actually. This is not the intro. Hi, guys.
Well, I think that's the intro. I'm actually going to use it this time. So.
Yeah, I think that sounds great. There we go. Liam did the intro to the podcast this week.
Yeah, he is replaced.
Imagine.
I have been replaced. So, yes, we are back for episode 10. He doesn't think I'm going to edit this.
I know full well this is going to be the intro.
Yeah.
So yeah, just for some reference, that was Liam trying to tell us that he's fine. He's all good to go ahead now while he's sorting out his dash cards.
Well, but this is the thing. This is how we roll with life. You know, we are the three bearded weirdos after all.
It was weird.
We've got quite a lot to talk about. We are T-minus 5-6 days from Uprising spoilers being thrown at us.
Yes, this weekend, I believe, right? We're recording this on the Tuesday, and I think it's Saturday they start.
Can't wait.
No, me neither. It's going to be. I'm very excited for this. We're overdue. It feels like for a new set that wasn't just a random assortment of talismans and potions.
That's the nicest way. That's the nicest way I've heard you put Everfest.
Yeah, my normal thing is I think it's disappointment wrapped up. I don't know.
Yeah. Just disappointment in a paper packet.
Exactly.
But it's before we delve into the future and such. We have one important announcement. We did promise that on Starvo LLing that we'd give away a mat. We put a tweet out, and we have randomly selected a winner. And congratulations to Jeff Anderson, who will now be, yes, small applause from the three of us. We shall be sending you the Starvo mats. So that's at Boardroom Gamer, and that'll be on its way. Congratulations. You've robbed me. But we also have had a busy couple of weeks with PQ since we got back from the States.
Yeah, it was right into it, wasn't it? Straight back, and then missed the first week of PQs. Luckily, I don't think we missed too many, and then straight into it.
Yeah, and it's I think you boys managed 3?
I did 4.
Yeah, Liam, of course, didn't want to miss out doing pretty much everyone he could get his hands on.
Well, obviously after the PT has ended, until he has another invite, he is just Big Sauce.
That is true. We did get the greatest gift of his new name.
Yes, once again, thank you,
thank
Mr.
you,
Flake.
That was fantastic. The greatest name, the greatest gift you could possibly give us.
But as Mr. Canning put it, Mr. PT is temporary. Big Sauce is eternal.
Mm-hmm.
So once he gets his confirmed PTI for Lille, he can go back to being Mr. PT. Until then, it's just fraud.
This is just unbelievable.
So, how did your PQs go then, Mr. Big Sauce?
I'm starting? What the fuck? Okay.
Yeah. You did 4.
He's mixing it up.
Oh, it's unbelievable. So the first one was in Leeds, I believe. That's correct, George.
It was, yes.
Yeah. I took Oldham like a madman.
I mean, we probably should clarify that in Leeds, just for anyone who's in the UK, this was the Geek Retreat Leeds weekend. Because obviously, Castleford's also fairly Leeds adjacent, so...
Yeah, but that's Castleford, it's not Leeds, right?
Yeah, that's true. I've heard many people describe it as such, though, just for clarity.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for that clarity, George. You're a true professional.
I know, what can I say?
Someone has to be.
I know, right?
We're still searching for a true professional. If you'd like to be our true professional, we're on the lookout.
Please get in touch at 0 to 60.
You would be responsible for 3 complete fucking idiots, though, which should...
That seems fair.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, continue with your Geek Retreat Leeds-based PQ review.
So, I took Oldham, like a madman, I am, expecting a lot of change. It was Lexi heavy, I believe.
Yeah, I believe it was.
Everyone was on Yuki Bender's Lexi list, which is absolute given for me.
I think it was fairly mixed between Lexi and Chain, right?
Yeah.
On the whole.
I was in a good spot playing Oldham. Started with a bye, obviously. Naturally.
As it has become traditional for you.
Apparently so, yeah, which I don't mind. But...
I mean, I do. I'd like one every now and then.
Big Sauce does not play round 1.
I mean, I'd rather play round 1, but the PQs, you're going to give me 3 wins, I'll take them all day.
I'm pretty sure they've just put it in Gem now. That's it. He's just like seeded. They've heard of him now. That's it. He just
Um,
automatically gets the bye round 1.
yeah, so got by round 1, Fatigue Chain round 2, played Yuki's List round 3, all wins. Then had the quickest, longest game of my life against Starvo, Potion Shop Starvo.
Good old Ollie.
Like, it was, I don't think you've ever seen two Guardian players sling cards at themselves, like, so fast.
Especially in Oldham, right?
Exactly right. We finished with 10 minutes on the clock, and he had one hand to kill me, which he did with, which is sad.
Is that 10 minutes gone or 10 mintes left?
10 minutes left, obviously, not
Yeah.
10 minutes gone. No, we're not that quick.
It was an incredible game to watch, though. Literally, the speed of them moving, and just trying to actually finish this game with time to spare was quite something. And it was impressive they got down to the end of the deck. You were just unfortunate that obviously that Ollie's final hand was just getting repeated, or at least the last couple of hands were all triggers, and we're just going to keep coming back.
Yep.
So
I had one defense reaction left. I needed it in the hand, and it wasn't there.
And was it his final Earth card he killed you with?
It was.
In the end? Yeah. So
and I couldn't cycle to my pulse because he decided to destroy my Crown of Seeds with exposed to elements. So
he did. That was a big turn in that one.
Oh, wow.
that was kind of sad to do. Then round 5, unfortunately, met this individual in front of me,
You did.
and I lost. So I ended up 3-2, going in 7th, I believe.
Yeah, luckily it worked out for both of us though, because we both ended up making the top 8, and then immediately got repaired.
We did. We got repaired into each other in the quarters, and I lost again.
Consistent,
Yes.
at least.
Yes. I mean, it was my first event playing Oldham. I've been talking about it for a while, right?
You
Finally
have,
did it.
threatening us with it.
Yeah, I mean, you say that you've played Oldham a lot, just not never really taken him to an event, have you?
No, I was worried about people spending too much time reading Endless Winter, because that's a common thing. Or this Frosty 4, people tend to think about 15 minutes about how this one Frostbite affects their turn. They can't just add one to their cost and go, I can't play this.
It's obviously it's nothing to do with the the fact that you block out all the damage and spend 45 of the 50 minutes on your turn crowning, blocking, whatever.
No, I play really fast. So.
Having a quick snooze.
Yeah, exactly. Just doing Oldham things.
Yes, that's how Saturday went for me. George, you were there.
Yeah, I thank you. Yeah, I was also there. Yeah, this is all very true. Yeah, it was a great event, I must say. From Geek Retreat. So shout out to them that just got back from their armory today. But yeah, it was a fantastic event they've just run. They ran. It was a really tough field on the whole. I can't give too much detailed breakdown, but yeah, I went 2-0 for the first 2 rounds. Had a really tight game against Chain in round 2, and then round 3 actually lost. After going through some tough matches, lost to some a blank Reiner, otherwise known as Levia, with club. But yeah, shout out to Kay on that one. It was a really good game actually. Just managed to kind of roll me out threats and eventually kill me with a club. And then yeah, luckily won my remaining games to make beating Liam in the 5th round to make the top 8. And then as I mentioned before, beat him in the quarters again. And then finally lost to Rob Can on Chain in the rematch from round 2 where I had won. He beat me in the semi-final, and that was the end of my tournament. So
A good
it was
game.
a really incredibly close game though. So
It was a nice event.
with it.
Well run, to be fair.
It was really, really well done. For such a reasonably small event as well. I can't remember exactly how many people were there. I don't know if
There
you can
was
remember, Liam.
24?
That sounds about right. But I mean, for what was at least compared to last ProQuest season, a pretty small event. That was a very stacked field. It was very tough. There was a lot of good players in the room. A lot of very tough matches, and yeah, it was. We did well to do as well as we did, I think. But
And then you went over to Sunday, and it was finally time for the local one.
it was. I actually got to attend a local ProQuest.
Imagine.
Alas, I didn't, as I had the pleasure of watching Burnley get relegated. Lol.
Yeah, I'm not sure why you did that, to be
We
perfectly
did
honest.
warn you that you were going down.
I think I told you beforehand I was going to the relegation party. It's just I was hoping I was just lying to myself. But hey,
Bad decision making.
anyway,
all
we're
around.
not here to talk about football. We're here to talk about Flesh and Blood.
It was a great way to save yourself from talking about the football.
Correct.
But yeah, go on then, Liam. You've why don't you let us know how you got on? Because you were the more successful of the two of us at the local. So how did you get on?
Fanboy again. Got a shout out to Liam for running the event. It was nice. He got a throw for judging. You know, he got thought he was king of the hill.
Well, I don't think he got to keep the throne. There just was a throne there.
It was, yes. I can't remember how we were playing round one.
Well, no. To be fair, there is something that happened before round one.
Oh, I wanted to play Oldham.
Upon arrival, you chickened out of playing Briar and wanted to play Oldham.
Only because I've seen the field and everyone was on chain. I was like, give me Oldham. And I then looked in my bag and found my Oldham deck sat there with no Oldham and no equipment.
Exactly. Then spent the next 15 minutes just complaining at the fact that you hadn't brought any bloody equipment for your Oldham deck.
Yeah.
How did you guys not tell me this?
Did you not hear this one? He did literally. We turned up on the day. He's like, shit, there's loads of chains, and there was some very good chain players as well in that field. It was very chain heavy, and then he was like, I've got my Oldham deck, and then realised there's no equipment.
Yeah,
so
left Oldham and then my equipment behind. So I was like, oh, there's no switching last minute for me then, is there?
No, couldn't find any around either. There was no one to lend them the equipment.
So Briar it was. When did I go 5-1? Was it 4? No, it was 4-1, right? Because it was 5 rounds of Fanboy.
I would tell you, but
it was 5 rounds
when I'm not there.
Yeah, so it was 4-1 in Swiss. I lost a chain from Pete Ward, like round 3-ish in the middle. Beating some good players. Again, I think that field is even more stacked, to be honest.
It really was. I mean, I know my running was absolutely hideous. It was a real tough one. But yeah, it was just a really tough tournament on the whole. I think it was worse.
Yeah,
not sure how we were unlucky enough to get so many good players come over. It was lovely, but at the same time, wouldn't it have been nice if it was just a nice little local ProQuest and
get some free wins?
That would have been all right. I wouldn't have minded a nice easy invite.
Yeah, got into top 8, played Potion Shop again. Somehow won that game after getting Spinal Crush twice. Fused.
Yeah, that was a rough game. Every time you got Channel out, he revealed and then spinaled.
Yes, it wasn't very nice. I don't appreciate getting Spinal Crush with Briar, to be honest.
I'm not sure how you won it, to be perfectly honest. It was a close game. Really well played from both you and Ollie. I didn't see any major mistakes from either of you. It was just, obviously watching the game in top 8. But yeah, I'm not sure quite how you pulled it out, but you did.
And then got knocked out in top 4, which was sad. I playing Briar and not making an embodiment of Lightning all games kind of besides the point.
Well, that was the other thing. I think between that and the top 8 game, I think you made 1 embodiment of Lightning between the 2 games.
Yes, and I got triple out award against Chain in top 4, which was really, really bad.
But again, still a tight game. Who was it you were playing in the top 8 of that one again?
The top 4 matches.
Top 4, sorry.
Folks, yeah.
That was it, yeah. Can't remember who it was in that one.
So it's not like it was a bad opponent. It was just obviously... I think a lightning trick token may have helped in the game a little bit longer, but just needed to do a bit more damage faster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just couldn't get there. How about your day, George? How was your day, Fanboy?
Mine, yeah, not bad. It was an alright day on the whole. It was a tough running, but I did actually start the day playing a local. Little Seb, as is known locally, who literally submitted my deck list for the event. So ended up playing against my own deck round 1. So that was an interesting experience. Won that one, then ran into Matt Folks on chain. Tough match. It went incredibly close. Was a really close match, but lost that. Had a rematch against Kate from the day before. In round 3, actually won that one though, and then ran into another chain player again playing Rob Catton from the day before. He won that one again, another incredibly close game, and then beat an Ice Lexi in the final one. But that wasn't quite enough to see me through. The loss in round 2, I think, got me. Can't remember exactly where I finished up, but it was only just outside the.
It's like 10th, I think it was.
Yeah, it was 10th, something like that, and just wasn't quite enough to see me through. So
it is always the problem with Gem that if you lose early, you can just know that if you lose 1 point, if you lose again, it doesn't matter really at what point you're out. You have to go X1 unless you've lost. You need your losses to be late on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, maybe maybe if it was a loss in round 3 instead of round 2, maybe I'd have been enough. But that round 2 loss just kind of scuppered me, I think. So yeah, it was a good day. It was nice to play a local event, like you said before. Fanboy 3 has always put on a fantastic event. It was all went very smoothly, and it was good to see you play your way up to the semi-finals as well.
Yeah, it's just shame, really.
Still, for those
I'm still a bit sad about it, but I just want that fucking win, man.
You'll get there. You'll get
Hold
there
on to the sentiment.
But then a week passed, and I was finally able to join with a football-free weekend as the season was over. And it was a trip over to York for EH Games. Again, another great event with from Ross over there as well.
Oh,
how about you start this one, bro?
I was going to say,
here, rather than trying to be the host and dish it off to me and George. How about you talk about your
and
game?
I tell you what, I wanted to spend a minute talking about Liam's indecision about wanting to play Oldham. Now there's a massive point to Brooks's PQ experience this time, and that's he's abandoned his goal. He got rid of Dorry for this season.
I didn't get rid of her. I just rested her.
I mean, she looks awfully like Bolton.
It was. So I delved through my binders, and as I was looking through what I could improve with my Dorry deck, looking forward to Classic Battles, which I'm sure we'll get to shortly, I picked up Bolton instead and built that. After looking at a few lists, making a few tweaks, I decided to venture into the land of Bolton, and it was I abandoned Dorry for the weekend, and it did all right.
I think worse than that, you enjoyed it.
I know, but there's some
I think I remember you saying Bolton is your new best friend, and me and George giving you shit about it, saying that you're gonna have to apologise to Dorry when you get back.
No, I said could be my new pet deck. I never said my best friend.
That was it. Yes,
that was it. Yeah.
So that's to be slander. I'll see you in court after Johnny Depp and Amber Heard or something. But no, there's some perverse pleasure in watching someone try and kill you, knowing that you've got 2 Luminas and there's not really much they can do about it. And then healing back up, and I had some cracking games played. Lost to a Starvo where I didn't get a Lumina, then had probably one of the best games I've ever played against Ryan, one of the Living Realms guys, where I went down to 1 twice.
Oh, that game seemed absolutely crazy.
And ended with what has become my favourite finisher of just beaking a victory, getting rid of about 14 cards. For plus 14 on an attack. Reinars ended up going 4-2 without going through every single result. But it was a great day. And obviously, as the day went on, started watching some more of our comrades, as we seem to do quite well in EH.
Yeah, we certainly do. I mean, Liam, do you want to go next, though?
Should we save the best till last? Is this the way we're going here?
She
made me go first when I got a better finish, but you're going last when you get a better finish. I see how it is. Okay,
fine.
No. What, George? Fuck you. I'm going. No, I'm going.
Do it.
Mine's short and sweet, let's be honest. I went 4-2. I got tilted after a really ridiculous loss to Prism. On Briar, I should be winning this game. I tried to pop a fucking Herald that was parabled and triumphed, which doesn't fucking work. And then went on to lose that game because my Sonata missed at the end, which was sad. And to the eventual winner of the tournament, I won't spoil anything, just in case, And then I lost to my arch nemesis, Jacob Hand, who I am currently 0-4 in tournaments. I cannot beat the fucker. I wish he would stop turning up to every tournament I play, because I might actually go and fucking win one.
No, because then you lose to me like you did tonight.
It's like the first time you've beat me in about months.
That's it. The gauntlet's being thrown down.
It was, but it was a friendly gauntlet. It was a
It
light
was.
slap rather than a.
It was a backhanded thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway,
But
that's my tournament. But shout out to Ross because their tournaments are great. Like,
Yeah.
table to yourself, so much room, catering,
Spot
food around the
prizes.
corner.
Oh, the spot
Spot
prizes was fantastic.
Brilliant idea. When like if it was you beat Simon Denning, you might get a spot prize. Beat Johnny Chatton and get a spot prize. You take 20 damage in one turn, you got a spot prize.
If you won on more life, if you won on one,
yeah,
there's loads of little prizes. It was a really nice little touch. I think
he's brilliant, Ross. He is brilliant.
An absolutely fantastic idea. It really was.
Well, go on, George.
Go on, then. I guess.
Well, you won a spot prize in one of your rounds, didn't you? So talking about people playing quick.
I did, yeah. I mean, I realised in all of this, Phil, right, and neither of you guys pulled me on this one. I didn't actually mention what deck I was playing, obviously, because I'd never really played anything else. So obviously, I was on my normal Lightning Lexi, Death Dealer shenanigans deck for all of these PQs. But anyway, yeah. So obviously, it's a pretty quick deck. And I ran into Kano in at least one of my rounds, and it was quite possible. It was unbelievably fast. It was over very quickly, and it was just as they've introduced some spot prizes for the first person to finish would get a prize. So the only thing that took any time in the game really was me activating Heart of Ice and my opponent deciding whether they wanted to go off or not. And apart from that, the game was pretty much over. But yeah, so I was lucky enough to win something for that. My day.
I do remember just literally looking down and seeing, oh, George is standing up. What's gone on? Assuming something must have gone wrong because you shouldn't have finished that quick. But
no, it was over that quickly. It just turns out when your opponent has 30 health that you can end the game quite quickly. So it was good. But yeah, I had a successful day. I mean, I ended up going 5-1. Won't go over the games too quickly. There was a lot of good ones in there though. My only loss was to an Oldham player who just kind of aggroed me quite hard, hit me with some decent effects at the times that they wanted to. Made it into the top 8, and then played Isaac Murray on Chain then. So had a really good game for me anyway. For him, he drew poorly, I think, at the start, but it was still reasonably close anyway. He just managed to aggro him enough on the last turn that he couldn't block out and not die to his blood debt at the final turn. So that was my win in the top 8. Went into the semi-finals with the other semi being with 2 other local players.
Shout out Black and Matt.
Yeah, exactly, and
Deadly Mango doing work.
Well to be there, but kind of wish I was playing either one of them because I ended up with the much harder matchup of Starvo. But yeah, played into Starvo, Francesco in the semi-final. Really well played to me. Played a great game. And to be fair, it wasn't quite close as I'd liked it to be. I don't think there was too much else I could have done differently. He got a nice draw, triggered fairly often, and yeah, just beat me in the end. So I missed out just about on that one for my chance at a final.
Yeah, he crammed into a good number of triggers while we were watching.
Yeah, as you guys let me know on the after the game, I'm quite glad I didn't know at the time, to be honest.
So, I was going to say I definitely couldn't let you know during the game. Jesus.
Oh God, no! I think I might have tilted me a bit, but I mean, I made some right decisions, right? I mean, it was at least good to know that I'd made the right decision in the time, like going out the way to because I was going second, was running the honing hood just to crack in that to be able to hit with a sleep dart that I know at least saved me from taking a crippling crush. I think
it would have been
a
triggered crippling would have been nasty.
Yeah, would have absolutely ended my game even earlier than it did. But yeah, it was a really good end to a great day and the end of my PQ season. But yeah, it was a good way to finish, even if I didn't quite make the final. And that capped off my PQ season of me not even getting to play a single goddamn prism. Again, yes. It feels like I barely played everyone tells me it's a meta deck. And
you just you've got just a knack of dodging them.
He's got like this really good talent of he played one Prism last season, which was against someone that he knew, and he lost due to draws. And then has got the ability to find the only OG Bravo player in the room multiple times.
That I must say is a welcome change this ProQuest season. Was just the fact that I didn't play a single OG Bravo, which was fantastic. I loved it. But then that was mainly because David Carp didn't turn up to any events. Because I swear that guy, every single ProQuest last season, I ran into him every single time, and he was always on OG Bravo, and it never ended well for me. So if for some reason you listen to this, shout out to you. But I was really glad not to see you.
Great games, but if I never see you again.
Yeah, exactly. I remember telling him that after the last one. I was like, look, it was really good playing you. You're a really nice guy, but please, I really don't want to see you again. At least not across the table. So, but yeah, that was the end of my ProQuest season. I know you guys did Living Realms the day afterwards, but I should probably let you do that one.
I mean, it was a very surreal day. It was the last day that we knew that we'd be playing a Starvo. We're still waiting on confirmation that it was the last day that we were playing Chain in the tournament. And Living Realms, very kindly, again, very well organised event, I think, as they always are. Wasn't a round one repair, which was a surprise, because it always seems to happen. Gave us 2 packs, and as a fond farewell to him, I opened a cold foil Starvo, which was a nice pull, but some sort of if it had been the start of the season, I'd been much happier.
You did literally pull the worst time to pull a cold foil Starvo. I think not only has the price on them tanked, you choose the exact moment he's no longer legally won't soon be legally playable to actually go and pull one.
But no, it was the last time, so I think there was a bit of a last hurrah for some Starvos. I think the last time you could play it, a lot of chains turned up. Obviously, I was on Bolton again. I managed another 4-2, which took me to a 8-4 for the season, which, considering my previous seasons on Dory, was a welcome change, I have to say. And some really good games thrown in there. There's Katsu and stuff like that. And
how about yourself, Big Sauce?
Really?
Oh,
is that what we're doing now? Just throwing it out randomly? Don't flake, man. Like Matt DeMarco, right? I love you to bits, but there's some things you just don't say in front of some people, and that Big Sauce is not going away.
It's not going anywhere, and that reaction has just made it all worth it.
Oh God, yeah. I luckily got the buy round one at Living Realms. I decided to.
It was weird that you played the first round at EH.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they must have made a mistake.
Mate,
Next time, just refuse to play your opponent and say, "Do you not know who I am?"
Literally, only ever had 2 buys in tournaments ever. Right? No, 3 ever.
No, 4. No,
okay, wait a minute.
7.
Do you want to know how many I've ever had?
Oh, cry me a fucking river.
Wait a minute. Also, wasn't it one of the events in New Jersey that your opponent didn't show up?
New Jersey?
No.
No.
Oh, was that you? Damn, I thought it was Liam.
No, it was Battle Hardened where my opponent didn't turn up round one.
That was it. Yeah, there was one.
Yes.
I knew there was one.
Yes, there was.
I told you there's at least one event in Madrid where your opponent didn't show up round one.
Madrid?
It was in
You've not been
Leeds.
yet?
Oh, we've not been there yet. In New Jersey, anyway.
No, it was Leeds that happened.
Yes, that as well.
Yes, every one of my opponents turned up in America.
Oh, fair enough.
But it was the Battle Hardened that happened in Leeds because I was sat next to you. And you got beat by Prism that day, and you were really, really mad.
Oh, I was not happy.
And I was sat there not playing a game, complaining that I wasn't playing a game. But yeah, I wanted to play. I'm here to play games. I'm not there to get buys. But I got to buy around one at Living Realms. I was a psychopath that decided to take OG Bravo. Shout out to Kale. You know, never going to listen to this, but anyway, brought his list that he previously did. You know, he might. I suppose he might. He posted his list on Twitter and did a deck tech on it on YouTube. I was like, I fancy playing it because I'm not playing OG Bravo in a while. I'll go and beat some chains because I know how to fatigue them on that list. And I got by round 1, and then there was a chain player called Shamir that didn't get an opponent, so we played a casual game. I was like, let's test it. I won, fatigued the chain, after the eclipse, I was like, this is going to be a good day. Round 2, on stream, OG Bravo versus Viscerai. I lose.
It was a great game, though.
In an absolute tense game where it's like a really long game, but there's barely any turns because we had to sit there and think about these like weird turns we were getting. Like I was side body fatigue. I decided to get giddy with crippling crush hands, which is completely wrong. And then, lo and behold, there's some decision making that I could have done that we've talked about with both of you, where I could have won the game. I'm not going into that on the podcast. I can't be bothered.
That's fair.
It's too long.
Can we?
And then I queued Paul on Prism round 3, and I did 6 damage all game, lost in about 15 minutes, and decided that I wanted to smash my face on the table.
Yeah, Bravo into Prism problems, right? It's just the way it's going to be.
I got the Dream Star, right? I got the buy, so I was like, I'm avoiding Prism round 1. Let me get in the room with the chains that were up there, and just let me play them all. And then it went Briar into Starvo into Lexi. Didn't see a chain all day, finished 4-2. Did enjoy myself, but again, I'm a results-orientated person, which means I had a bad day. Because I didn't come in top 8, so...
Well, I think generally, looking back at all the events that we attended either together or as in part, I think it was a very, very good season. Enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was.
Well, yeah, I mean, we were very lucky, right? There's a lot of good events nearby. Like I say, we've commented on all of them, just how well they've gone. And I did just want to say, actually, obviously didn't attend the LR one, but a fantastic stream they had of that. If anyone was looking for a ProQuest stream, they wanted to go back and watch and see some good gameplay. There was some fantastic games streamed.
Just don't watch round 2.
Even so, it was a really good game. It was worth a watch.
I'd genuinely say watch round 2, not to wind up Liam, but it was genuinely a very good game to watch.
Oh yeah, I know the result didn't go your way, mate, but it was a fantastic game.
It was.
I appreciate that.
So was there anything that surprised you throughout the ProQuest season as a whole, chaps? Or was it kind of what you expected?
I think I was surprised at how well Briar was doing, even though I took Briar to 2 ProQuest, and that sounds completely weird. And I expected her to do that well, but I was surprised that she actually did that well, because the chain matchup is jank. It's 40-60 going second, it's 45-55 going first, and even then, it's all about drawing mountains. So the fact that she's doing that well, and I know that she's done well outside of the UK. I know she's had a few wins and stuff. So I think Briar's performance is the only thing that's really was different that I wasn't expecting. Apart from that, no.
That's bullshit because the biggest surprise is Olivia won somewhere.
I mean that is.
It had to happen at some point.
Well, we said that. I mean,
no, Olivia didn't win. Rhinar won.
This is true. Blank Rhinar won.
Blank Rhinar.
It was just Club Levia, right? With and stuff.
A blank Rhinar won, and a Nazalia made it to a final.
This is true. That is shocking. But in all seriousness, I think for me, one of the biggest surprises I think I got was that we actually had a very diverse meta. I think when the bands first came out, I didn't think they were going to be hugely impactful. I think the Pro Tour didn't seem like it was that impactful. Like it seemed like we'd still kind of got the same meta. Obviously, Kano doing well was a surprise, but I think on the whole, it was a surprise for the ProQuest just how varied it was. I mean, if you look at the top 8 in York, I think we ended up with
top 8 in York was
2. Was it 2 Starvo?
Katsu,
2 Starvo,
Lexi, Prism, Chain. I'm trying to think who else we had
there. It was
there.
Chain versus Lexi. It was Starvo versus Prism. It was Katsu versus Starvo, and it was Starvo versus Chain.
Yeah, 3 Starvo, 2 Chain.
1 Prism, 1 Lexi, 1 Katsu.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, obviously that's just one ProQuest, but I mean, even in a lot of the others, there was a lot of variety in the field, which was great. Great to see. Great to see other decks actually doing well. It wasn't just the same thing over and over again, which I really enjoyed. Thought that was great. And I think the other great surprise for me was look at all the Ranger players come out the woodwork. Goodness me, Yuki has one good result of the Pro Tour, and suddenly they appear by the droves. Everyone suddenly thinks they can play Ranger. So
fuck it, I'm gonna do it. That list is not good.
I mean, yeah, it's all right, right? I don't think it's the greatest.
I
I'm not
think
going to dive into it, but I'm going to let comments simmer.
Yeah, I think it's a deck that needs a lot of piloting and a lot
Yeah,
of.
it definitely does.
It's not one you can just pick up and play it. It's not like when I just picked up. Oh, what's his face? Old man Bolton.
I also think
Main
actually,
man Idris.
I also think it might actually have its time might have been and come and gone now that the meta's going to change and it might get less aggro.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, without knowing what speaking of what the
That's a
meta
nice
could be,
transition.
I know I can do it occasionally.
I meant for George, to be fair. You just set you up. No, talk about you. I've got completely
It's,
you.
it's all right. I'm happy. I'm happy with
Hey,
just doing all the work in the background. That's fine. I don't need credit.
That's the thing. Look, he works hard, and I just tap it into an open net, mate. That's what I'm good at.
It does, and then he takes all the credit. You know, his name goes on the score sheet. It's
My name,
just the way it is.
Exactly, but you still get your points on fantasy football for an assist.
That's
But in terms of the meta, we don't know what's going to happen with Fi and Dromai and Icelander to some extent. But we know Bravo, star of the show, has fucked off.
Yes, yeah.
Based on the fact that Chain they've not updated the Living Legends leaderboard, which they do every Monday. I can imagine that's because Chain has Living Legends. They're trying to work something out.
I mean, even if he doesn't, I mean, I know we've basically got none here in England at least. I think it's one in Scotland. In the UK is about the only one, but
two.
there is still there's a 2 in Scotland. There is still a whole weekend of ProQuest left around the world that are going to go on. So I just can't see a world in which he doesn't Living Legend by the time that finishes. Like even if he hasn't missed, even if they've just he's missed this weekend. Yeah, it's going to happen surely. So thank God for that.
Yeah. Although it's quite funny that I actually think I'd take a Chain all day over a Briar.
Oh, you're just getting salty because Briar stomps all of a combo Bolton.
Oh, she stomps me hard.
This is true. You were having a pretty torrid time the other night.
I really was. But
remember, you asked for it though.
I know I asked for it to practice, and I just practiced crying effectively.
Though nothing will quite top Liam asking for games as Bravo into Prism.
7 in a row.
Yes.
I took it like a champ.
I think by the end of it, the disheartenment was starting to bleed through.
I think it was a bit, yeah.
Okay, I took the first 5 games like a champ.
That statement I'll agree with.
Yeah,
the last 2 was maybe, yeah. I think the worst one was the when I just drew that. I was like, I could taste the win. I was like, I've got there.
Yes.
And then I drew 4 reds and had a pummel in Arsenal. I was like, I can't do shit. It's game over. But we won't go into that. We won't go into that.
But yeah, that was just testing. That wasn't matter.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was just fun.
So you already mentioned, Liam, about you reckon Briar could be up there next to.
Oh, Briar's going to be good, I think. Because I'll bring another illusionist in, right? And not that she operates the same as Prism, but if it's like kind of similar style, the pace, Briar's going to be fucking good. I think Icelander kind of counters Briar, though.
I was going to say, I think it depends how strong a lot of Icelander's effects and the control of it. Also depends what sort of control that Dromai is, I think, and how much that counters stuff like Briar and a lot of the aggressive decks.
Also,
I think it's going to be quite similar to the way Prism operates, which is why I think it's going to be a good matchup for Briar.
Yeah, quite possibly.
I think Briar's naturally good into Katsu, so I'm just using that logic to say that it's probably going to be good into 5, but obviously we don't know that yet. It all depends on spoilers and stuff.
I wonder on the speed of Fi, if he was designed at the same time as Chain. And
I don't think it's necessarily the speed, it's the on-hits that's the problem. I think the more on-hits you represent as to Briar, that's when Briar can slow down. Yeah. Because then she has to go, oh shit, I need to block this. Like Force of Nature, right? Like if Briar plays Force of Nature, everyone goes, it's time to not do anything and just block. Otherwise you get run over for like 40.
Unless they then do it on a Command and Conquer and you've got 3.
You're so let it go. Elsa.
It's over. It's over. It's okay.
I know.
It was yesterday.
I'm in a safe space now.
Yeah, exactly. Your Luminas are back in your deck now. They're not in your discard pile. It's all good.
It's all good.
Yeah, the metal should be interesting. I think it's, as in the words of Adam, it slows down.
We'll appreciate that.
I think it does slow down a little bit. I think Icelander comes in and fucks up the aggro decks. I think Dromai comes in and fucks up the control decks. And Fire does ninja things, maybe, I think is where I see it. I think Starvo fucks off, Chain fucks off, OG Bravo becomes good again, which then in turn Prism's existence still exists, which is a problem. But hopefully, a Prism nerf happens on Advanced and Restricted.
Ooh, that's a call.
Because she fucking needs it.
Take.
That's a spicy take.
I'm not going on my Luminaris rant, but I think Prism finally gets fucking touched. Finally.
I mean, maybe it'll happen, or are they going to? Do you think they'll just rely on maybe seeing aggro decks keep her in check now that Chain and Bravo have gone?
Maybe, but I can't be bothered. I'm sick of her. The reason why, right, is I'll go into like the Prism as a whole. Is that it's the polarizing matchups. It's the 90-10s. Like sometimes you get a 90-10, right? But this deck has like 4 90-10s into Dory.
I'm not even sure into Bravo. I'm not even sure it's a 90-10.
No, it feels like a 199.
Mm.
And even then, when I got the God Star, I failed.
I mean, yeah, we played, like I say, multiple games the other day, and even when I had a bad start, I mean, even when I basically drew some of the worst hands you could draw as Prism. I mean, my opening hand was 4 blues with no way to filter it on your turn. It was had a lovely start, and
none of them were blue auras.
None of them were blue auras. It was just blue heralds, and then it still came back round. It was just it seems like such an unbelievable match.
18 on turn 1 from a pulverize as well. It's
Mm-hmm.
So that's the problem for me. It's the polarizing. It's not just one matchup, right? You can have one polarized matchup. Like if I said to you, George, your deck has one polarized matchup, you'd be like, you know what, fuck it. It does, because that's just what happens. But she has like 4, right? She's Dory, Bravo, Oldhim,
Bolton. Well, just Warrior in general.
Bolton's probably not close to 90-10. It's probably like 70-30. Because you can kind of take your deck for it.
Yeah, that's true.
Whereas like you take your deck, whereas like Bravo has to build to beat Prism, and then shit into everything else.
Your sideboard just becomes all Prism tech, right?
Yeah, well, not even sometimes it just starts to really affect the build in general, and I don't like it. But that's enough ranting for now.
But maybe that will happen. I could see, it'd be nice to see them finally actually do something to impact Prism. I'm not convinced it's going to happen, to be honest, but I'd like to see it.
Yeah. And then I suppose one thing that also happened before we start looking ahead was the Classic Battles release, which will come up later in the show.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously nice to get a bit of new product. Obviously, I don't think. I don't know what everyone else thinks on this one, but it wasn't what I expected it was going to be when they first announced it. Looking at the decks now, some interesting choices of things they put in.
I mean, I'll give my opinion on it because it's short and sweet, because I don't really have an opinion on it. It's probably a good idea. New players could probably use it. I like Rainbow Fall equipment. I like Colourful Hot Heroes and cards. The decks look shit, though.
Yeah.
From my perspective, and I mean, I don't want to buy one because I don't do it. But I'm sure new players will find it enjoyable because it's really good for learning. So I'll pass to you.
So, as someone who did buy one of the Classic Battles, obviously with my Dory hat on, I was really excited to see the new Dawnblade. Obviously, it then got released. Makes a 1 for 2 with +1 on the second swing. It doesn't lose counters, but it's still a bit meh. Then there's some good cards in there. Some staples like Warriors Valor Red, Red Ironsong Responses. But then they've added some cards which I think are more flavourful than they are impactful. So adding in, I think it's On Guard, is just a sharpened steel for 1.
Yeah, just expensive sharpened, right?
And
you've visit the blacksmith, I think, as well. You've got, which is just blue sharpened.
Yeah, so there's a few cards which I think if a new player was to pick it up, I think they'd be able to play a fairly balanced game. I think the Dory deck's probably a little bit better than the Rhino deck.
Yeah, I mean, we
But-
had a couple of games the other night, right? And
Yeah.
I think the games felt good on the whole.
Yeah, they weren't ridiculously one-sided like some are, but I think my problem would be for a new player that goes, you know what, I really enjoyed that. It's what's next for them, because I don't think you upgrading a classic battles deck. I mean, it might be something that we actually look at, and if we ever get around to doing videos of actually how would you upgrade the Dory decking that into a CC deck. Obviously, you'd need to replace the hero and the weapon for a start. I mean, the tokens, but how would you go about taking something like that starter product and turn it into something you could go and then take to an armory and at least compete?
Yeah, it's not like you're upgrading the Blitz decks, right?
No.
Which are really easy to upgrade. I think the classic battles decks are a little bit different.
Yeah, I think that was one of the more disappointing things for myself was the fact that you would need to go and get a lot of just staple cards. I'm not obviously you were saying, James, before that obviously they seem to have done it for thematic, for story reasons, to include a lot of these cards, but on the same time some of them are just strictly worse versions of other cards. So you've then got to go away and replace them. Like you've got to go in. I think it's Blade Flash that's essentially a bad version of Glint. Now I know obviously Glint's an M, but this is exactly the same thing against Go Again, but without the reprise trigger, and it costs one. So if you ever want to play a competitive game with Dory, then you need to go away and acquire multiple Glint and Quicksilvers to replace these. They could have just put 2 in those decks, in my opinion.
And I'm also the fact the M for both classes is a one-off in a Blitz deck. I kind of get it. They want to limit the power level to kind of show these are what good cards do, but at the same time, don't then make them cards that people would want. But more on that later.
Yes, we'll come to that bit a bit later, I think.
But I think it's a good product. One thing I would have liked them to is potentially add an upgrade guide, what to add for CC or something like that. That'd been a really nice little touch.
Fantastic.
Because they added the lore book as well, which I've read. Just expands a little on the hero stories. Also, you get the player mat as well, which is great. I can imagine it's great for new players. Just a paper mat, not like it's one of the neoprene mats. I think they would have had to, especially with the packaging. And the side of it is a little bit smaller than I thought it'd be, but I think, and it's all cardboard, so it's all eco-friendly thing, thumbs up sort of thing for the greens among us. But no, I think generally speaking, it's a good product for new players. I just don't know what the step up is from that for a new player.
I mean, let's be honest, they've got titanium baubles in those decks. I mean, it's already...
that made it worthwhile for me.
Yeah, already amazing.
Yeah. And then, so that's the old stuff. That's all happened. People know about that. People want our stupid takes on spoiler season, I can imagine. You just want to hear us be completely wrong.
I look forward to being incredibly wrong with these.
I mean, so I'm going to ask 4 questions. I only prepped you for 3.
Oh, here we go.
This fucking guy.
From each of you, I would like to know what you think will probably happen, something you would want to see happen, something that you hope will happen, a bit of a long shot, and also something that you really don't want to happen.
Fair enough. I tell you what. I will accept you. I'll accept your 4th random question you're throwing in on one condition. You have to go first.
All right, fine. So something that I think we'll see. I think that we will see Fi come out as a ninja, which doesn't really use any of the ninja cards that exist at the moment. I think Liam pointed this out to me as well. Combo lines are kind of pointless if you can't search for them, which is kind of what Katsu does.
I mean, wow, it's almost like he's going to get a whole set of new cards.
That
seems like a hot take, doesn't it? Bloody hell. It's wait, they're going to release cards with him?
No,
crazy.
But the context of that conversation was people were talking about Katsu getting upgraded and stuff. And then they were talking about whether or not cards in this set will get combo printed with them. And I said it won't, because I think they'll just concentrate on Fi, because it will be... Like, combo is a ninja keyword, but I don't think this ninja is going to have combo.
No, I agree with that. In all likelihood, I think it will at least be less combo focused. Right?
You,
I think
Mr. Sarcastic.
What, me?
Yes,
There
you.
was context. See,
Yeah, there was context in that, but
Eventually.
otherwise that statement was yes. But
Then-
yeah, no, I do think it'll be less combo focused. I do agree with that statement. Though the only thing is if we go by other sets, they'll at least release some sort of support for existing heroes too.
I can imagine it more like I don't think Twin Twisters is combo. And that sort of thing.
No,
I
it's
can imagine it'd be more cards like that than it will be anything combo related. Like I don't think you get a different finisher for Mugenshi as an example, or
No.
the Whelming Gust Wave. What I want to see, I think we'll get a Kano Majestic, a brand new Kano, as a token.
As in,
So it won't
you're
be in
referring to
draft.
hero, right?
Yeah,
Yes. So you're talking a Starvo leveled.
yeah. A
Kano.
Starvo treatment Kano, I think we'll see. It makes sense. And my hope is actually that we'll see a Kasai adult get the same treatment as well.
Okay, what do you not want to see?
What I don't want to see is Prism get anything.
That's
Literally
entirely
nothing.
possible.
Literally, I don't want to see anything that Prism can use that really upgrades her deck. I've got a horrible feeling we might see red auras. But I don't. They'll have Go again, but they might not have Spectra.
Oh. Don't give the Prism players another reason to moan.
I mean, the only thing is that they could end up being Draconic. Is the only thing.
Yeah.
It could be Draconic Illusionist, which I think would be the only way you wouldn't see Prism get any kind of buff from that. If they release auras, she'll probably end up running at least some of them.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they'll have, if they do that, I don't think they'll have Spectra. If they are red and they have Go again, they have to have something that they're shit at. So I think losing that would be what I think you'd have to do. But yeah, I really don't want to see more auras that Prism can use. And that's my 4.
Go on, George, because I don't think I've still got an answer for any of them.
No, you see, I was just looking at them thinking exactly the same thing myself.
It's almost like I didn't send notes around before.
It's almost like you didn't tell me 6 hours ago these were the questions you're going to ask me.
I mean, I did not know 6 hours ago.
Yeah, no, that's
I
what
guess that was
I'm,
my fault for not turning up at the local armory.
I'm an amateur.
Yeah, so okay, I guess what do I think we'll see? I think we'll see some illusionist bullshit. To be honest, I think illusionist will probably still be fucking stupid. I think Dromai is probably going to be pretty horrible. The idea of control and the Spectra keywords being on the same cards is not a thing that entices me. I'm not going to lie. So I think that's going to be a problem. That'll also be what I do not want to see. I think as well. I think they'll basically be the same answers to that question.
That's sad that the thing you think will happen is also the thing you don't want to happen.
What can I say? I'm an optimist. What I want to see. To be honest, I'm really excited for a new ninja. I've not too long ago really enjoyed playing Katsu, so I'm intrigued to see what a new ninja will look like. Something non-combo orientated would be really, really interesting to see where they take that. So I'd love to see something that doesn't rely on it. Because also, actually, I think what would be really interesting would be if we do see a non-combo orientated ninja, is that to see how that affects the young ninjas we've already got, or to see how it affects those, because they obviously don't run combo lines as effectively as Katsu anyway. So I'd quite like to see how that impacts them. Like Ira probably becomes very, very good in Blitz again, just because she's got a pretty stupid ability.
Good at you for 2.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty damn good. Also, Zephyr Needle for 3, right?
CNC for 7.
Yeah, all these things, amazing what difference one can make. But anyway, and then what I hope to see,
Draconic Ranger.
I would love it. I would love it. I'm not gonna lie, anything new Ranger, I'm sold, but it won't happen. You won't get the support for it.
A random Draconic Ranger headpiece, legendary.
I mean, I've kind of come to terms with the fact that every good Ranger piece of equipment is going to be a headpiece.
Perch Grapplers V2.
Don't even go there. Also, that can't happen now because I've got my Perch Grapplers and I'm sorted. But anyway, I guess what I'll hope to see. What I actually hope to see is, and I think it'll actually be that the Icelanders cards won't be too oppressive. I don't want to get into a really heavy control game where Iceland, like, we've already seen some where I'm like, okay, this worries me a bit, like hypothermia and things like that, where I'm like, okay, these cards that just stop you interacting with things, just stop you being able to use stuff. I'm really hoping that we won't see too many more like that are just, there's no way around them. It's just, you cannot do this. Which may not be the way that question was really intended. That what I hope to see is a thing that I hope will not be there. But
It's all right.
that's what it'll be.
You can bastardize my questions as you wish.
I will. I enjoyed it.
Thought you would. Big Sauce, over to you.
Fuck it, you dickhead.
You need some answers now, mate. Big Sauce.
This is going to be like the most edited part of the podcast ever because I'm going to be sat here for ages. I don't know. What do you think we will see in Uprising?
I mean, I've got to be honest, mate. You think he's going to edit?
That's the truth. Should we just sit here in silence and see how long it takes?
It'd just be a long podcast.
It's like,
we'll just bore our viewers.
You're looking at me like, don't test me. Well, I don't. Imagine preparing fucking questions like this. What do I want to see? I want to see dragons and more of them, though. I don't want just 3. I want more. Not just like Milo dragons, like common stuff.
Tell you what do you think these? Is it Ash Wings are going to be?
They're going to be like spectral shields, but Dromi's version of them.
Like the little baby dragons?
Yes, maybe they just attack you for 1.
I was going to say, because maybe they don't prevent damage instead.
Yeah, maybe they just attack you for 1.
Maybe they're more offensive.
Which would be good. That'd be interesting. They probably wouldn't be good, actually. That'd be horrific.
I could maybe see something along the lines of where maybe they attack and then destroy themselves.
Actually, what I want to see is I want to see that this... I'm going to kind of answer the question a bit weirdly, but I want to see the set be really good draft experience. I think that's the most important thing that can come out of the set. Is because there's so many tournaments that's going to be draft. The Road to Nationals, half of Pro Tour, half of Nationals is all going to be draft. So I hope the standard of the set is really good draftable. Maybe you can put that under hope. I don't care. Put it under whichever you want.
Well, you choose, mate. You're the one answering the questions.
What don't I want to see? Prism stuff, I suppose. Again, I'm going to have to decide what you used to. I think anything that helps Prism is shit. As much as I want to play dragons, which are probably related to Illusionist. Yeah, I'd rather not get any support. If she does, I want her to LL quick. So,
unfortunately, Briar would hold her back from that a little bit. If Briar is so
probably
prevalent.
What do you think we'll see? I don't know what we're actually going to see. It's a weird one. It really, because we know we're getting a ninja, a wizard, an illusionist. I don't think we're going to get another hero. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
I can't answer the first one. I'm sorry.
I think the reason it'd be quite good to get, like, if they did like a new Starvo-ified Kano, is if they just do it as a cold foil rather than a standard. It's never going to be used in draft.
It'll be the token slot, right?
Because obviously you take the tokens out and cold foil's going to move to the token slot. So I think that'd be a really good way of doing it without impacting the draft, but still giving...
I just don't think we're going to get it in the set. I think it's the next supplementary set, and I think it's going to be Azalea.
That's a hot take.
It is a hot take. I'd like, as much as I'd like to see that. I don't think we'll. I don't think we'll get one of those until we start seeing bits and metrics. There's their own set. But I'll tell you one thing. Actually, I will add on that of what I really don't want to see, which is just that actually I really don't want to see any Kano support, like directly for Kano. I'd much sooner see cards that suit Icelander better, or any cards that could be potentially dangerous with Kano, be Ice Wizard cards, just because I do think we are still very, very close to Kano being very busted.
I mean, his performance at the PT kind of shows that, right? There was the two very different styles of list with Vors and Sasha and Markovic's
Yeah,
lists.
but that's gone into an aggro-based meta where I think if it slows down, it's going to be a bit different for Kano because everyone can load up an AV, right?
I mean, maybe, but then how many more cards can he actually get? If he has a whole other set of wizard cards, at what point does he just be able to exploit? Particularly because
AB4.
exactly, does he get over AB? 3 or 4? Because cards only block for 3. Even if you've got enough AB, they essentially just means that they actually block like they normally should. It doesn't. You don't get any better at it really. So I don't know. For me, at least, I'd be worried about how good Kano can actually be. I mean, we already saw the power of Aether Wildfire at the PT. If we start giving cards that are able to buff arcane damage or anything else, then there's the potential there that actually, even in a particularly slow meta, it just has more time to set up his big turn. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you could see him be very impressive, I think. So I'd like to see more Icelander stuff than Kano stuff come out of this set.
Yeah. I'd also be worried about how when they start printing some of those cards, how they interact with Kraken's Aether Vein.
I'd like to see him actually explore that, to be honest. Just because obviously it was a bit of a shame that we got Kraken's Aether Vein and then didn't see anything in the set in Everfest that actually interacted with it.
That's what I mean. I think
shame.
it could be a thing that becomes a little bit busted. If they give,
Maybe.
if there's multiple ways of buffing this beyond probably just getting it to 2, because it's draw a card for each damage done for 3. If someone's got no null rune, you can buff that to 5.
Yeah, you can't say like no null rune, right? Because that's a choice that people make.
I know, but
so if you don't bring null rune to an event like that, right?
Yeah, but if you can buff it up to like say, there's no other cards that you can draw quite. I mean, outside of Force of Nature, I guess can, but there's not many that you can pay 3 and just draw. Like the economy kind of becomes a little bit stupid, and we can see what Kano does anyway.
Yeah, that would be pretty busted, to be fair. So I mean, I wouldn't want to see them do too much. I just think it'd be an interesting space for them to explore to actually do something that could interact with Krakens.
I just want them to be careful with it. That's literally all I could ask for.
I think that's my thing as well, right? I don't mind because I'm sure Kano players are desperate to get more stuff and to like we all are. They all want new things for their hero, but for me at least, I just want them to be very very careful about what they hand to Kano, because I must admit, when Everfest came out, I looked at Wildfire and thought, this is busted. This might just be enough to tip Kano over the edge. And to be honest, I think he got reasonably close. I think he got to a point where actually this card is absolutely stupid, and I think we saw that at the Pro Tour was the culmination of that, which was that people basically then built their deck to search for it, and then once they found it, do inflict ridiculous amounts of damage.
That'd be the Kano way. Well, I guess we'll find out over the coming days. Also, we'll probably quite nicely, really. The reason we started the podcast was because we stayed up till 3 a.m. talking about spoilers as they came out.
Yes.
Obviously going back to our roots. Whether we're recording at 3 a.m., part of me says I hope not, but it could at least be relatively amusing our delirious, tired ramblings.
It would be quite something.
But we'll do that, and then we get to go to Madrid next week, where we actually get to get hold of some of this stuff, which is going to be amazing.
Yeah, we actually get it in our hands nice and earlier than most people will, which is nice. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. Get to do we've got a calling and a battle hardened while we're out there.
Yeah, so we start off with the sealed
World premiere.
World premiere, where I think you go, pack per win. You get 6-0, you get a box.
Indeed.
Plus obviously your sealed packs as well right after that. So
yeah, so that's gonna be hella fun. Then we've got our team blitz. We'll have to probably do some talking about how that works. I know Arsenal Pass have just done a big video about going into far more detail. Never thought you need to around who sits where and why, and where you think other people will sit. But hey ho. So we've got that. Then, like I say, Battle Hardened on the Sunday. There's loads of side events. There's more sealed. There's more draft of Uprising as well. There's another Shapeshifter, which after New Jersey I'd be very tempted to try again, depending what sets they are. That was good fun. But yeah, generally just really looking forward to it. Which I think, and also another chance for 0 to 60 on tour.
Yes, yeah, we get to go out there and play again. This time, actually playing as a team will be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun playing together for a change. Though I'm not looking forward to having that pressure on when I say that I'm probably gonna be first finished.
You'll be finished first.
At least, but maybe not, depending on what he's playing as well.
Yeah, that's also true. Depends if he gets.
I think the only thing we do know is if you're you're probably going to be the one who's last.
Yeah, that's probably that's nigh on true, and that but and that entirely depends on what hero I take. Wonder who.
I know, right?
But yeah, might have to get hold of a card for that. Which
there's only one hero you're allowed to take.
Katsu.
Dory.
I know.
After this weekend, it's combo Bolton. I think you'll find.
Yeah,
he's not taking combo Bolton in Blitz.
No, I know.
Otherwise, me and him are going to fight.
No.
Not allowing that.
Dory's going to be coming out to stay, but I think that leads me nicely into a section we've neglected the last few weeks in Vexing Malice, which is we said a lot of positives about classic battles, and we being positive, I think it's great for new players. There are a few foibles. As a Dory player, they put in a Majestic in Glistening Steelblade, which is actually quite a good card for Dory. Being able to swing and get a +1 counter each time you hit. If you've got stuff like Iron Song, Determination, stuff that actually buffs the weapons that isn't in the starter decks, you might actually run it. They made it one-off. Now, that box is, depending if you're lucky, I got mine for about 30 quid. Some places selling it for up to 50. Once you bought one, if you want to get a playset, looking at Card Market, it's 20 quid. It's not worth it, but it is a really, really good card. And I just don't, that's something I really don't like it. Either make it so it is just for new players. They don't need any, these are just stuff. Current players aren't going to need any of it. But adding in something like Glistening Steelblade and then screwing over the Rhinos by just giving them a reprint of Alpha Rampage, I thought it was a really shit thing for Rhinos, really, which might have discouraged someone from picking that up. And the pedant in me, and another thing, in reading the lore book, and I did tweet about this on our Twitter account, this is supposed to be someone's entry to this product. Now, I am a pedant for grammar and for spelling. There's about 3 spelling mistakes on the first fucking page.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Like, this is something that's supposed to be, look, this is our premiere product for new players. This is why this game's great. Go and play it. By the way, we can't fucking write or spell check. I mean, come on. I mean, it might be a really small thing, because in general, the lore book's a nice little ad. And obviously, I didn't notice any spelling mistakes on the cards. But for something that's supposed to be such a big deal for new players and an entry, and kind of it's your one chance to really impress them, having spelling mistakes, come on. Get Grammarly. Other spell checkers are available. But yeah, as I started reading it, and literally I just saw it, and literally, you open the first page, and rather than bring, it says Bing, which instantly made me think of Friends, which really isn't the headspace you want to be in when you're thinking of the world of Wraith and Dory growing up. And I'm just like, this isn't right. And then there was another one further on, which I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. And I was just like, if this is the first thing you'll see when you enter this game of what's this booklet, just do a spell check, read it properly, proofread it. If somebody's written a book and there's probably spelling mistakes in that, if someone ever finds which book it is, like, you just get it sorted. But yeah, that really annoyed me, and the pedant in me really struggled to get past it. Like I said, in general, great product for new players, but fucking new spell check. There we go. I feel better for that.
You're feeling better.
Do you know what? I've done 2 Vexing Malices, and I do feel better after them. But yeah,
I think next week's Vexing Malice might just be the words you use from Liam.
Shut up, man. I seen you type and I knew you were laughing at me just because of my reaction to fucking pedant. Who fucking says? I've never heard everyone say pedant. You just said it about 15 times. You can use this as the fucking outro to the podcast as well. I don't care.
No. All this is staying in. I know your proclivity for me using extended vocabulary is.
Listen, stop with the big words. Talk like a normal human fucking being. I'm sorry. I'm not saying sorry to you. I'm saying sorry to the listeners having to listen to this bullshit. What?
Save it for next week. For next one, mate. You need a Vexing Malice just on this.
I'm not doing a Vexing Malice. I'm used to fucking vocabulary. What a load of shit.
So I think I'm not sure when the next episode will be recorded, whether we stick to our 2-week schedule or whether we jump in a little bit sooner if we want to do some particularly spicy cards. We haven't got a spoiler because we don't do videos, I don't think, but maybe one day.
Yeah, but, obviously, if they're listening to this at LSS for some random ass reason, why they're listening to us, I don't quite know. But if you are, do feel free to tell us a spoiler. It'd be great.
Yeah, we'd appreciate it. And I only partially meant what I said about using the spell checker. I do mean it, but maybe not quite as forcefully as I said it in that case. But no. So whether we jump on, do a couple of go over some of the card reveals, if there's something particularly spicy or tickles our fancies, then we might do. But I think the next time you hear from us, we'll be back from the world premiere and some Tales of Madrid. And Liam can do a Vexing Malice about Spanish food.
No, because I won't be eating it.
What did you do? You just gonna pack a load of Myconites?
You know,
I'd be like an idiot abroad where he just takes monster munch to Japan. And on that bombshell, catch you in the next episode.
Catch you on the next one. Thank you very much for listening. God, he steals my outro as well. Bastard.
Fuck you.